Hello again, YouTubers and Pokemon fans! Today we have the third of 4 different 2016 World Championship decks. I just want to mention a video going live later today, which is a case opening of sorts. In that I mentioned that tomorrow we'd have the third one of these, because that video was intended to be yesterday, but it happened too late to get live early enough, so just don't be confused by that. It's the only weird part. But anyways, we've got the Masters Champion deck here, Shintaro Ito's Magical Symphony deck, featuring Mega Audino EX. Flip it over to the back here, and read the little bio thingy up top. Shintaro Ito's unexpected Mega Audino EX deck was definitely the talk of worlds. And sure enough, this fluffy pink Pokemon proved itself worthy of a Masters Division World Champion. The Magical Symphony attack is an excellent weapon against the most popular decks, since it can knock out an active Shaman EX plus a smaller Pokemon like Joltik or Combi on the bench in a single hit. Plenty of trainer cards for drawing and searching round out this very consistent deck. And there is a look at the deck list in case that's all you really want to see, but we'll show you all the cards inside, which, again, these cards in these decks feature a limited edition card back, and these cards are not tournament legal. And I've gotten a lot of questions in the comments. I think these retail for like $12.99. I don't remember for sure. I actually did not buy these at retail. We got these for a distributor, and I forgot to look before this video what we actually paid for them. I'm pretty sure I know, and based on that, I think they're 13 MSRP, if I'm thinking right and doing my mental math correctly, but you get the idea. Oh, and first I want to just quickly show the Masters portion of this booklet here. So there is the Masters bracket. As Shintaro Ito beat Cody Walensky in the finals. We'll be on up that deck tomorrow. And in the semifinals, he beat Samuel Hugh. And in the quarterfinals, he beat Gustavo Wada of Brazil, looks like. And there was 4 US participants in the top 8 of Masters. Flip back to the Masters portion. Now you can see more of this booklet in the first Worlds deck we opened, featuring Shunto Shadahiro's Black Dragon deck. So there is Shintaro Ito. Interesting fact, Shintaro is already looking forward to next year's Worlds, thanks to the reveal of the GX mechanic at the opening ceremony. And says up top here, Shintaro is very serious about tournament prep. Before the World Championships, he says, I would play the Pokemon TCG for about 12 hours a day. Shintaro took the overseas metagame into account. He was a little nervous that his opponents would bring unfamiliar decks in an attempt to counter Night March, but he was pretty confident that his own deck, built around Mega Audino EX, wasn't well known outside Japan. I thought that could give me a good chance to win. Sure enough, many were surprised to see this deck when it was first played on stream, and the fluffy pink menace quickly won lots of fans. And there is the deck list once more, and there is Cody Walensky, who his deck will be opened up tomorrow on the channel. And then third place was Samuel Hugh, playing a Vileplume deck, looks like. Also had Glaceon EX, Jolteon EX, Aegislash EX, Shaman EX, Magearna EX, Yveltal EX, and Trevenant EX. Whole lot of various EXs in there. And Ross Cawthon, I should know that name, with Vesequen, Yveltal, Octillery, Unknown, Drenagon, Shaman EX, Malamar EX in that deck. So, onward here then to the actual stuff. There's the pin again. We've seen in all of these so far. We've got the deck box with some of the deck in. We got more of the deck right there. And we've got 2 of the cards here in the plastic. There's a Mega Audino. And here is a Hoopa. All right, get this all opened. All right, gotta kind of reorder this way I have all the Pokemon together at least. I don't know if I got all the same ones together or not, but hopefully good enough. And we'll give you guys the code here again, which again, the code just gives you a coin, World deck sleeves, and World's deck box. So I redeemed the first one, which I accidentally showed on camera, and I thought you get the deck on there to use at least in friend battles, but apparently you don't. So for this deck, we've got Audino EX, 180 HP, and of course Audino and Mega Audino EX, the stars of this deck. Drain Slap does 20 and heals 20 damage from this Pokemon. Do the Wave, which we first saw I think in Jungle with Wigglytuff, has 60 damage plus 10 more damage for each of your benched Pokemon. Ignoring the potential Skyfield, full bench of 5, you're doing 110 for 3. You got 4 copies of Audino EX, and then Mega Audino EX. Again, the deck is called Magical Symphony, 220 HP, and the attack does 110. If you play a supporter card from your hand during this turn, this attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So as the descriptions in the booklet and on the back of the box said, I forget which was which, you can knock out an active Pokemon like a Shaymin EX for 110, as that's how much HP Shaymin has, and you can knock out a smaller Pokemon on the bench for 50, such as a Joltik or a Combee specifically, as those have 50 or less hit points. Joltik 30 and Combee has 40, I believe. So you get 3 Mega Audino EX. There's a Hoopa EX with that ability Scoundrel Ring to help you get some of those Audino and Mega Audino into your hand, as well as other EXs, such as possibly Magearna EX with the ability Mystic Heart. Prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to each of your Pokemon that has any metal energy attached to it. And since Mega Audino is colorless, you can easily use metal energy, and you can utilize the ability on basically any Pokemon in this deck that you want. Then Soul Blaster, if you happen to have to use that, 120, and during your next turn, the Pokemon's Soul Blaster attack's base damage is just 60, 160 HP. And then you got those Shaymins, which you can also grab with that Hoopa EX. 2 of those with that setup ability. You guys know what that does by now, I'm sure. Cobalion, 120 HP. Quick Guard for 1 energy. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon can't use Quick Guard during your next turn though. Then Revenge Blast does 30 plus 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So if your opponent's running all EXs and not Megas, Quick Guard can buy you some time there in a pinch. And Revenge Blast can help you come back late in the game if need be. Where if your opponent, for instance, has taken 5 prizes, you can swing for 180 for 2 energy there. So not too bad. And then Absol with the ability Cursed Eyes. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may move 3 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of his or her Pokemon. So that could help you get a key knockout as well with Audino. Perhaps they have an active that has more than 110 HP. Perhaps moving 3 damage counters already in play will help you knock out the active. Or perhaps they have a benched one with like 70 or 80 HP. You can move 3 damage counters to that, and then do 50 to on the bench to knock it out. So I assume that is why the Absol is in there to help move some damage around to get that double knockout in a key moment. Then on to the trainers. You, of course, have to have the Audino Spirit Links for that Mega Audino. 4 of those. Mega Turbo to help energy accelerate on that Mega Audino. Just the 1, though. Pokemon Center Lady heals 60 damage. Just 1. Startle Megaphone. Discard all Pokemon tool cards attached to each of your opponent's Pokemon. That's in Flash Fire. No longer standard or legal. There's very, very limited tool removal now in standard. Just 1 of that. Super Rod, 1 of those. Shuffle 3 basic Pokemon / basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards. Search your deck for a Pokemon, 4 of those. Versus Seeker to get supporters back in your hand from the discard, 4 of those, pretty standard. Zerosic, choose a Pokemon tool or special energy card attached to a Pokemon in play, yours or your opponent's, and discard it, just 1. This can also help, it's probably a good idea to have one of these in your decks with Megas, although this is no longer standard legal either, as if your opponent played Headrainer, which was legal at the time as well, that would kind of block you from putting the Spirit Link on your Pokemon to Mega Evolve, which would make you have to end your turn in doing so. Suck out with that. Otherwise, you can just discard something from your opponent's side as well. So it's a very versatile card. Trainer's Mail helps you get more trainers and speed through your deck. 4 of those. Hex Maniac until the end of your opponent's next turn. Each Pokemon in play in each player's hand and in each player's discard pile has no abilities. So for instance, you could play your Shaymin EX and use the ability, and then play Hex Maniac, which would block your opponent from using a Shaymin EX on their next turn. So just make sure if you play this card, you do whatever abilities you wanted to use on your turn before you play Hex Maniac. Otherwise, you're kind of screwing with yourself there. Professor Sycamore, you know what that does. You got 4 of those. Parallel City, I read that card in a past Worlds deck. 2 of those. And Shuffle Draw, equal the number of prizes you have left. You and your opponent, 2 of those. Lysander, acts as a catcher or a gust of wind. No flip required, but it's a supporter. 2 of those. Floatstone, no retreat cost for the Pokemon that's attached to. 2 of those. AZ, return Pokemon from the field to your hand. You just have to discard all cards attached to that Pokemon, to that supporter. Escape Rope ×1, aka Warp Point, which I blanked on in I forget which video, where I said like, oh yeah, Warp Point, we haven't had that card in a while. It's because we have Escape Rope, which is the same thing with a different name, basically. So, there you go. Escape Rope. Both players switch their active Pokemon. And then we've got 4 double colorless energy, and the metal energies, because of Mega Audino EX, we got 6 of those. So that is everything you get in that deck, and hopefully you enjoyed that video. Again, just trying to help show you guys these Worlds decks to help, you know, get your competitive juices flowing for those that might be interested in getting a competitive play in that. But that was Shintaro Ito's Magical Symphony deck featuring Mega Audino EX. Again, tomorrow we'll have Cody Blinsky's deck, and later today we'll have a larger booster pack opening. A total of 72 packs will be opened. Stay tuned for that later today. Maybe there'll be an extra bonus video as well in the middle there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Just keep your eyes out. More videos are definitely on the way. But that is all for this video. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. You gotta smash that like button, help show your support. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you back here later today for some more Pokemon goodness.